guys, it's Jess. Today I'm with Katie and we're going to be discussing fashion.
Hi guys. So as a couple of people know, or not sure if I really said this, but I'm really into shopping and fashion. I don't have a great style though, but I'm really into it and whatnot. Um I've subscribed to a couple magazines to see and I love watching the fashion weeks like Milan, Paris, New York, and so on. And yeah.
Yeah, Katie's going to pretty much be carrying the team in this episode because for those of you who know me, I am not really into fashion and I generally just wear workout clothes everywhere, no matter the occasion. But I am interested in fashion and I'm interested in learning why people are really interested in fashion, what the new fashion trends are. Yeah, so I'm going to ask Katie, if you were to describe your style, how would you describe it?
So okay, my style kind of changes here and there. Because I'm relatively open to most because personally for fashion, it's a way of expression. So it's kind of like why people like art or people like writing, so on and so forth. But I usually like wearing kind of like the skater aesthetic with like loose jeans and flannels and whatnot. But I also have some sort of preppy outfits and whatnot. So I feel like a mix between those two. Um And a couple times I will just not try and whatnot. So I might just throw on an oversized t-shirt and some shorts and whatnot. But overall, on my big things is I always wear loose jeans, never tight jeans. We don't like showing anything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Because it also depends on your body shape because you want to dress to fit your body shape because that's how you look the best in. I forgot all of them. I know there's the pear body shape, the hourglass, rectangle, triangle, and there's probably one more I'm missing, but those are the main ones.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying and that makes sense. And I think another thing that I wanted to talk about is comfort versus style because I know you were talking about tight jeans. And personally, I think all jeans are super uncomfortable, but I also think jeans are really, really good looking on certain people and jeans can, it's a cool style. So do you think it's more important to be comfortable or to look good?
I mean, personally, I think it's if you can find a way to do both, that's what I normally try to do, and it's top notch. But personally, it all depends on the situation. Say you're going to the airport, you would want comfort over style since you don't really care. But if you're going out in public with your friends, you might want to dress up a little bit. But if there's gonna be long periods of times where you're in that, you might want to be a little more on the comfier side. But overall, the more comfort you can have while being stylish, and it's the whole point, you're not going to look good if you don't feel like you look good or feel confident in your outfits. That's the main part of fashion is you want to feel good. And so I guess you want to feel comfortable in your outfits and whatnot.
Yeah, and I think you bring up a really good point, looking good to feel good. I feel like so many times when a girl or anyone really is just super into fashion and cares about their appearance, people are like, oh, who are you looking good for? Stop doing this for other people. But I think a lot of people who are really into fashion or their appearance are looking good for themselves. And I think it feels good to look good. Recently in my school, we started wearing NSUs and it just feels so good to be in uniform and to look good. So I understand how people who are really into fashion trends and looking good kind of must feel. I feel like it has unnecessarily a negative connotation, but I feel like it could definitely be a good thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some of the trends that are happening. I know just I kind of you said this way earlier and whatnot, but jeans. And so when I was younger, I hated jeans with a passion. I would not wear any jeans. Mainly, I just would not wear pants because I don't know, the jeans, they just felt weird on me. But now that I've gotten into since it's now trendy to wear loose jeans and whatnot and not really tight ones, I guess I've been wearing them way more often because I guess I just didn't like the tight feeling. But I mean, I like leggings though, so it's kind of I don't know what's wrong with jeans.
Oh, I hate jeans too. They're very uncomfortable. And my dog definitely agrees because for her Halloween costume last year, we tried to make her a cowgirl and there were these little jeans we tried to put on her and she hated them. So if my dog thinks jeans are uncomfortable, then jeans are uncomfortable.
All the dogs view. My dog, we got her a little snoodle, which is kind of a little habit for greyhounds, and she's the cutest thing in it. It's so adorable, but she hates it. And she just gives you the look how dare you? I had some sort of dignity left before you put me on. We wanted to put her so we got her little booties for when we had to take her on walks, but she hates getting the booties on. She always walks so funny.
Yeah, my dog too. Like when she's wearing her booties, she walks like the ground is disappearing. She's like walking so cautiously, like something's gonna explode because she has her booties on.
I really want to dress my dog up in like a little tutu something, but she just is not for it like at all.
That reminds me of when my mom used to dress me, because she would
No.
always dress me up in those cute little outfits. And at some point in my life, maybe like 3 to 5 years, I loved it. But then at a certain point, I was just like our dogs. I was like, oh, it's so uncomfortable. Get me out of this.
I remember my mom, she didn't have like a way of saying no to me. Like I love my mom and all that. But when it came to clothes and whatnot, she thought I looked adorable in everything. And I mean everything. She did not hold back. I was like, "Ooh, mom, I love this shirt." And probably like some sort of justice shirt saying like I love unicorns and I put glitter. Something dumb like that. And I would wear it for like 3 days straight because I was obsessed with it. And I just looking back on it, I was concerned. What was my mind going through that pulled me to wear that?
I am totally exposing myself right now. But what I used to think looked really good is that if you wore one, like an outfit was just kind of one color, like super color coordinated.
Oh yeah,
So
no.
I think I told Katie this over the summer, but I thought I looked super cool and hip or whatever when I wore my purple headband, my purple t-shirt, my purple socks, my purple leggings, and my purple bracelet all together, because I thought that was what the cool kids did. And I would try to always color coordinate like that. But at some point, I don't remember exactly, someone must have pointed that out to me, like, hey, not cool, Jess.
Like a grape. Come on.
Yeah.
So my style of only was just random t-shirts with who knows what on the top, or either that or like athletic t-shirts, and then just athletic shorts. Always athletic shorts. Because I would never wear any denim when I was younger. I hated denim with a passion. I mean, but now that's like the only thing I wear. And so any pictures you look back on me, I'm wearing like I still have this one shirt that I wear constantly. My friend hates it because whenever we used to hang out, I would always wear that shirt because I thought I looked the best in it. It's old, it's like ratty. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I thought I looked amazing, like model quality right there.
I think we were talking about this like over the summer when we were together, but I feel like for young kids, the fashion is just so different, because when we were younger, all the young kids dressed like how we just described, kind of odd, not necessarily like weird, not super trendy or anything, the way that you would expect a little kid to dress. But nowadays, they're like, the clothes that they sell for these young kids is just like the clothes they sell for people our age. And these kids are in such fashionable outfits. They're so nicely dressed. And then I look at pictures of myself in my grape outfit and I'm like, dang, I wish they had that when I was a kid.
Yeah, I like how they're offering like abilities for like younger kids to express themselves in fashion, but I feel like it's important part of everyone's childhood to be embarrassed by how they looked when they were younger. It's just like
Yeah,
it represents how
I
like
agree.
you didn't care at all, and like it was just like part of like made childhood fun and whatnot. It was like, I mean, they like it was so much fun. Like I guess it was fun for my mom when I came out wearing like the weird random shirts, and she'd be like, "Oh, looks great, honey."
Yeah, I think they're almost like too young to have to think about what looks good on me, what doesn't, or they shouldn't really be caring, like you said. And as for self-expression, I feel like when I was wearing all purple, that was a form of expressing myself. I thought that I looked beautiful.
You and your grape self-worth are arriving. This is changing the world of
Yeah.
fashion. Jess, you're a trendsetter now. Everyone
Okay,
should
that's
only.
another thing I wanted to talk about. I feel like if some famous model wore that same grape outfit I wore to pre-K, then all of a sudden it would be a trend. Because I feel like I don't know, but I think runway models, they wear the strangest outfits.
I think yeah, for like runway models, like the whole point of the outfits are not supposed to be like normal. They're supposed to be like I like, because it's art. It's like a form of art, so it's supposed to be different, like unique and whatnot. But like I feel like sometimes people take those as like normal everyday outfits, and it just doesn't work. But to each their own.
To each their own. Because I think I saw an interesting YouTube video where some guys tried to infiltrate Paris Fashion Week almost, and they just found some random dude, made him a quote unquote model, and then with no fashion or design experience, put him in some like super weird, outlandish outfit. And then everyone was thinking that he was a famous model and taking pictures with him and his outfit. Because I think nowadays it's kind of like, in my opinion, it's kind of like modern art too. Like some of it is just, in my opinion, so random. And I feel like people kind of almost pretend to like it. Like some of it is beautiful, but I think some of it's just like,
because like a lot of things people buy for is the brand. Like that's why like designer brands, like apart from a couple of designer brands, they have like better quality stuff and whatnot, but a ton of the reason is they buy for the brand name. And like people, like clothes because like since it's like famous, it's like a brand, like people think other people like it, so everyone starts liking this one outfit, because it doesn't matter if it looks good or bad, because since people know this is a brand that everyone likes, they follow like the trends.
Yeah, it's like really interesting. I think that's called conspicuous consumption or something like that. But yeah, it's crazy how people just want these labels so much that they don't even care about the product necessarily, and they just want the label.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that kind of ruins the point of art, because I know there's a ton of like small designers, small brands that have like extraordinary clothing. Like, because like I find like a lot of my clothes off of like TikTok and whatnot from like random brands that pop up on my feed and whatnot. And like a ton of my outfits, like the most I've gotten complimented on with these small brands, not like some big store. Like my favorite stores are like American Eagle, Garage, like stuff like that. And I mean, like all their stuff is cute. It's like trending and whatnot, but I just feel like the small brands just put a little more effort into it, which makes it just a little more unique and special and whatnot. And just like since they're not big, they don't get recognized as often, so their pieces of artwork aren't shown as much.
Definitely. And interestingly enough, I feel like the same concept applies outside of fashion, because like if you think about phones, everyone wants an Apple phone, but I think some Android phones are pretty cool, but at a certain point I feel like people just want Apple products for the look.
Yeah.
But also, okay, not to get too off topic, but also Apple is pretty smart having like their whole closed system, because once you become an Apple customer, you're basically an Apple customer for life, because it's such a closed system. But that's super off topic. So going back to fashion, like how do you see your fashion 10 years from now?
I feel like based on like, I know it's going to change completely, but I feel there's going to be definitely some point where they're going to come back to like fashion now, because that's what we also do. Like a little bit ago we went to fashion like a couple decades ago and whatnot, because it's just like, I don't know, it's like you just go back. I'm not really sure why it works, but it does. So I feel like in the future there's going to be some sort of like 2020 2021 like vibe going or something. But I think relatively it's going to stay the same. I mean, actually, it all depends because of like what like changes and whatnot. Because I wanted to say that most of the clothes have stayed the same, like most styles. But like, I don't think that's true, because like in the early 2000s, like what we wore, we make fun of now in like 2021. So I feel like it's going to be like that in a couple decades. And so I was going to say maybe like the same thing would happen for like crop tops and other stuff. I think definitely high-waisted stuff are going to stay, just because it just complements so many people's bodies that it's just normal. And we've already gone through that 2000 phase of low-waisted jeans. But I think overall, I don't think it's going to change drastically just because of like just time and whatnot. But like, I feel like there's definitely going to be some defining aspects. There's going to be some sort of famous model, some sort of runway that just changes the direction of how fashion would go. And yeah, but it's hard to decide, because like a lot of brands are fast fashion, which means they change like constantly. Which is why you should definitely buy a ton of basic items, because those will always be in style. It's just like just plain stuff, because it's hard for them not to be in style. But I'm also saying like changing, like it's such a broad topic, because there's so many different like ways you can like dress up. Because there's like, I know like I see you say you don't have style, but you can still technically have style. Like your style is more like athletic and whatnot. It's just not like what people consider like a style, like preppy or like skater or stuff like that. They just don't consider. And yeah, and so like that, like your athletic wear could change drastically, but say like a preppy outfit wouldn't change as much. It all depends on like what the brands come up with the next designers become famous.
Yeah. Also, I wonder how our individual fashion styles are going to change as we age. So I wonder if 60 years from now, am I still going to walk around wearing workout clothes, or am I going to have more of a formal style? Will I be a skater girl 60 years from now?
The 60-year-old Jess.
To think about. But my hypothesis is that hopefully I'm going to have a more formal style, because if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to hopefully get a job. And then hopefully if everything goes according to plan, I'm going to get a job that requires me to dress formally. So then maybe that will just have me do a full 180 kind of in terms of my style.
Mhm. But I feel like, because this isn't true for everyone. So I know a couple of my friends' parents who still shop at some of the stores I shop at just because they do and whatnot. But I know for the majority of adults I see, they dress more professionally, somewhat in like neutral. They don't dress in like the bright colors that stand out or like with patterns on their shirt.
Mhm.
Like I'm not saying like patterns like small like flowers or whatnot, but like patterns that like have like a big like just something on the front that's not like some sort of company or whatnot. Like they're genuinely like all this like the same and whatnot because they have professional attire, they have like dress codes like for their work and whatnot because they expect something from them. But like I feel like on their own free time they still will have their own style, but like I don't genuinely think a ton of adults wear some of the stuff teenagers wear just because since their body changes, their mindset changes, they like grow
Mhm.
up because I think at 25 is when your brain fully is developed and whatnot, seems like around there. And so by then, like your style probably would have changed because you're always changing while your brain's changing.
Yeah, also I think a lot of, like Katie was kind of saying, a lot of adults are scared almost to wear what teenagers wear because they don't want to, I guess, look young or immature. But I think you should, if that's what you want to wear, you should definitely find the confidence within yourself to wear it if it's what you really want to wear. And
Yeah.
if I'm 70 years old and I want to be a skater girl, I should find the confidence within myself to be a skater girl. Because, I mean, you only live once, so you might as well dress the way you want to dress. I mean, I don't agree with every style. I don't think every style looks good, but I respect people for dressing the way they want to dress because they're not hurting anyone by
Yeah.
expressing themselves that way.
And like my like what I like to say is like the only validation you need is from yourself because like I guarantee that random person you pass by on the street isn't gonna remember you 20 years later for messing up for your outfit being slightly like not perfect or something like that. Like everyone will like they might judge you for like a couple of seconds, but everyone has their own lives. Everyone has their own problems. Like they were worrying about their clothes. Like
You should look good for yourself and not necessarily for other people. Like you shouldn't care what that random 70-year-old lady, I don't keep making the number 70 or whatever, that random old lady who's across the street who says like, oh, your outfit's so ugly. Why does it matter what she thinks? What makes her opinion valid over yours? What's important is that you like your style, you feel comfortable in your style, and you like to dress the way that you like to dress. Because personally, I love wearing just workout clothes. Like some of my friends kind of mess with me for it.
me
But
included.
yeah, but I love my style, so I don't let that really get me down because I like dressing the way I like dressing, and no one's gonna change that. And I think we should all try to have that mentality.
Yeah, because like the most of our problems are like rooted from us, like just thinking that everyone's judging us at all times, and like all of our like decisions are like weird in a way and whatnot. And like that's what like and like influencers, I guarantee you they're gonna be like thinking like their outfit sucks at some point. Like even though they seem confident, they're the trendsetters. Like they probably are like they probably are still insecure. Like everyone's insecure about something and whatnot. And so like they are like they need their validation from like all their fans and followers and brands and whatnot. And so they probably feel like maybe one of their outfits. And plus, since there's so many haters out there on like different like people just on like their outfits, like, you know, like Billie Eilish got like criticized a lot for some stuff she wore, even though she has amazing outfits. Like the couple times she wasn't like perfectly on point, she got criticized. And so like they still have their own issues, and like they still feel like their fashion sense isn't great when everyone wants to still wear what their fashion is. So like it all
Yeah.
everything will change, and like in the end all you should care about is your own validation because you're the only person that really matters.
Yeah, and I think what we're saying was all good, that you should dress however you want, whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I think like, well, that's true 99% of the time. I think sometimes like certain outfits are very inappropriate and disrespectful in certain situations, and I can't
Mhm.
find respect for that. Like for example, if I showed up in workout clothes to a funeral or some very serious formal event, I think even if that's your quote unquote style, I think that's extremely disrespectful, and I don't know if I could respect your style in that moment. Or you know what I'm saying here. Or if you
Yeah.
show up to school naked, sure, nudeness might be your style, but it's disrespectful in that time and place to have that style. So I think it's cool to have your style and stuff, but also there are certain times and places where your style might not be good.
Is dress codes, like I know for like work and whatnot, they want it so like there's just like it's a professional like and just stuff like that. You want to dress to the occasion, like even if you have your own style, it's just to be respectful to others, and like you should still care about others people, but you should only have validation from yourself. You still need to like be respectful and think of like, is what you're wearing like appropriate for where you are, like again, and like in work and whatnot. They probably want something like, especially like if you're working in like a business, some sort of like business where you have to meet with clients and whatnot. You're more likely, if like your client sees that you're professional, you're like ready for work, you're like dressed, like you're like cleaned and like you're just tired, like you look hygienic, but you don't have like a really like outgoing style and whatnot. It all depends on what business you're in, but like most clients want someone who's professional looking, not some like person who looks like a teenager. And you should still have your own style, but like it should change based on like what you're going and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree. And I think definitely within the, whether it's an actual physical dress code or it's more of just an unwritten dress code for a certain occasion, you should try to find your style within that dress code rather than being disrespectful and trying to violate it. Because I think a lot of times if there's a dress code, sometimes people say, well, oh, it prevents self-expression and things like that. And I think sometimes, yes, if it's an extreme dress code, but I think most of the time dress codes are in place for a reason, to establish a sense of respect and professionalism and a sense of honor almost in certain occasions. So I think within the dress code, you should try to find a way to express yourself. And I think, because I think most dress codes, with a few exceptions, like maybe a school dress code, school dress or a public school dress code, there still are lots of ways to express yourself. It's not that strict. And I think if you feel like within those loose boundaries, you can't find a way to express yourself, I think that's a you problem and not necessarily a dress code problem, because there are so many different ways you can express yourself. And even if you feel like you can't express yourself through fashion, you can express yourself through writing or through music, because I think in certain situations, it's justified for there to be a dress code to establish a sense of, I guess, honor and respect. And then outside of that dress code, as soon as you leave school or you leave work, you can dress however you want, and I support you in those endeavors.
Just make sure you have clothes on. That's like a basic like just rule.
Yeah.
Public. Don't flash everyone. I think that's public illegal or
Well,
something.
public nudity is a crime, so
So
you'll
don't
have fun in jail.
Don't commit crimes. We're not for that.
Yeah.
I feel like dress codes, I know some dress codes are a little limiting, just because like I know in some dress codes, just against like some sort of like some females and whatnot, they're a little more derogatory and whatnot. But I feel like you still are able to express yourself, but like if like your school is very derogatory in its dress code, I feel like fashion is a way to like a chance, because if you have freedom of assembly or freedom of petition, you should be allowed to like bring up your concerns and whatnot and have like a peaceful protest. And if you all get in trouble like don't wear anything like really inappropriate, because again, school is kind of like a somewhat a semi-professional attire, so you shouldn't be wearing like completely awful stuff, but you should still be able to express it, like, especially when it's hot out, like being able to wear a tank top should be allowed and not have to worry about your shoulders being shown. Or
Yeah,
like,
there should be a balance, definitely,
yeah,
to maintain both professionalism and honor, as well as student comfort and self-expression. And I think it's hard, like like I think I would have a really hard time writing a dress code for that reason, to kind of satisfy everyone and satisfy these opposing values.
yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about today? Because I think we had a really great conversation about a bunch of fashion things.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else, but if like our viewers want to hear more, we can do more on like runways and like types of styles and like tips and whatnot, since I have a lot of those. But
Yeah, we could do like a fashion part 2 episode.
yeah.
And yeah, just let us know if that's something you want. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already. Yeah, and thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.